Hi, welcome to Trap Souls Podcast. I'm here with Dark Water Tours, April and Jeremy from Mississippi. So, what part of Mississippi are you guys from?
We are in Goshen, Mississippi. And thank you for having us, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, no, thank you for coming. I love talking to a whole bunch of different groups. Try to get a whole bunch of you guys do tours, so that's kind of cool. I don't think I've had a tour company on before, besides, I've had Haunted Havens on. She does a whole bunch of events, but you guys actually are specific to the area.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cool. And you guys are more down by the whatever you want, Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, right?
Right.
I mean,
Personal preference there these days.
yeah, personal. The Gulf.
Yeah.
We'll just call it the Gulf.
That's
Yeah,
right.
the Gulf.
The Gulf.
Yeah.
So,
If you're familiar with Biloxi, we're about 2 towns over from Biloxi. Of course, we've got the beaches and the casinos, and we moved here from Tennessee. What has it been? 6 years now?
6 years now, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of a culture shock because we moved from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, a big college town, and we don't even have a Walmart here. So that was interesting. We did move during COVID also. And so we did a lot of our house hunting via Zoom.
Remote.
And so we really didn't know a whole lot about the area. My parents were coming down here, checking out the casinos, and they would come home and talk about how beautiful it was and all the pretty homes on stilts. And so I, serious but joking, also said, well, before our daughter starts kindergarten, why don't we just sell our houses and move? And that's exactly what we did.
nice. I try to post this everywhere. So I was down in Biloxi for my son's. We went down there for Christmas because he was at tech school at the Air Force Base down there. And I'll tell you what, I ate shrimp tacos every day.
Right.
Unbelievable. Yeah. It was Christmas time, not really much going on there. I said, but you got casinos, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's talk about the paranormal in that area. There's a lot of history in that area. So, what drew you to the paranormal around that area?
So just in general, it's something that I guess I have to say has been attached to me more than I've been attached to it initially. Had tons of experiences myself when I was younger, even to the point to where I wasn't even really sure that weird things were happening. I thought that they were I thought everybody else was experiencing similar things. We lived in a house that was haunted when I was a kid, and I grew up hearing all those stories. And so it's just something that I've always been into. And Jeremy and I met and married 10 years ago. And that was one thing that we had in common was the paranormal. And to be honest with you, we honeymooned in New Orleans. I call that my soul city. Just absolutely love it. And so, yeah, it's just something that we've always
just kind of drawn to it. Anytime we go on any kind of trip or anywhere we go on vacation, we always look for any kind of tours or any kind of paranormal investigations we can do. We love history and we love the paranormal. So we decided to kind of combine the both of those.
Yeah. You have to love both of them, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
So did you guys have a tour company up in Tennessee, or is this something you started down in Mississippi?
No, we didn't have anything in Tennessee. When we moved down here, we noticed that there wasn't any type of immersive experience. My goodness, we don't even have what are they called? The escape rooms. Unfortunately, where we live with the hurricanes, things get built and then they get destroyed. And slowly but surely, the coast of Mississippi is trying to rebuild. But I'm sure, just like any coastal town, you slow roll it, for fear of what hurricane's going to take it out next. But yeah, so we noticed that there wasn't anything like that around. And I don't know if you visited Ocean Springs when you were in Biloxi, visiting your son, but it is,
beautiful town.
It's beautiful.
Very beautiful.
It's, mossy oak trees lining the streets. It's not very big. Tons of history in Ocean Springs, and it is right on the water. And so we were just like,
Why not?
perfect spot. Why not? So we got to work.
And here we are, Dark Waters Tours.
That's right.
Yep.
So, I mean, a lot of people, like you talk about like the hurricanes and everything getting, I guess destroyed, you want to call it. I hate to call it that, but that's what happens. But there's still a lot of history in that ground. And just because a building is gone doesn't mean the paranormal is gone.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
It doesn't, a lot of people, it is funny that you say that, because a lot of people will say, well, it's a new house. It can't be haunted. Well, how old is the land? That's the question.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, what are your favorite spots out there? I mean, you guys, I'm assuming you guys investigate too, just not do tours, but like in Mississippi, I've never investigated Mississippi. What are some of the hot spots out there? Like,
Well, believe it or not, Mississippi does not have a whole lot. North Mississippi and Vicksburg, they have a beautiful place called McRaven Home, and that's pretty popular. There is also a place called the House in Between in Florence, Mississippi.
really?
Let's see, a couple of the paranormal teams. Let's see, who was it? Not the group with Jason Hawes, but something Gonzalez. I can't even think of his name right now. I'm on the spot. But a couple of paranormal teams, the TV shows, have been out there. And last year I went, and it was interesting. But really, I mean, Mississippi is not oversaturated the way that the North is. I mean, I'm jealous that there are so many more places to investigate, to visit, to tour. And you would think that being in the South that you would have just as much. But we don't have a whole lot of places. We do have a special place here in town called Pascagoula. It is called the LaPointe Krebs House and Museum, and it was built in, was it
I can't remember the exact date.
1857?
1757. Mm-hmm.
And we just recently was granted permission to go in there and do a public investigation. We are amateur paranormal enthusiasts.
Yes.
So,
absolutely. Learning new stuff every day.
Yes,
That's
definitely.
Sure.
Definitely. I want to give a shout out to Zach Meekins with Alone in the Dark, actually, because he has been so helpful
Very helpful.
with the equipment, and he put us on the Phasma box. And when we went a couple weeks ago to the LaPointe Krebs house and did our public investigation, it was a hit. I mean, a
lot of activity.
So much activity, and more than what we even expected. We had been out to the property. We'd heard the stories. We had interviewed a lot of people, been out there a lot and done our own little investigations and things like that before we brought people in. And it wasn't quiet, to say the least. But once we brought in that Phasma box, we were pretty impressed. So we appreciate, the help there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the LaPointe Krebs house is not on the paranormal map, so to speak. Love to get it on there, because it's just, I mean, the history there is unreal. So.
Yeah, Zach is awesome. I mean, he was on my show a while ago, I think, but he's always willing to help everybody out. He's just a good guy.
Yeah, I had just posted on one of the groups, point me in the right direction of a tripwire. And here you come. And so he answered a couple of questions, and then one thing led to another. He was like, oh yeah, by the way, you should look into this. And so we really appreciate it.
Did you guys get the tripwire then?
We did.
Yes.
We did.
Yeah, I emailed you because I had the guy who makes it was on my show also.
Okay.
So I was like, he's the original maker of it. I know there's probably some other ones out there, but I know what work he puts into those.
Right. A lot of people suggested him for sure.
Yeah.
So another shout out to Northampton for sure.
Yeah, they're awesome. You guys talked about being amateurs, investigators. I think that's better when you're doing tours, especially showing people places, because you're learning too.
Right.
Right.
And there's too many people out there just too comfortable and they think they know everything. And I mean, it's cool to learn a little bit from those people, but when they're going into like the same thing you are and learning, I think they feel a lot more comfortable.
Yes,
So,
I agree. Mm-hmm.
and nothing bothers me more than people that think they know the answers to the paranormal. We will never know. I mean,
No,
No,
absolutely
no.
not. I know. And you know, the day I say this a lot, the day that there are no more questions to ask, or I don't, because even every time we go somewhere, I get a little freaked out. And that's the part that I love,
The joy of it. Yeah.
So the day that stops happening, on to something next, which I doubt that'll ever
No, I
happen,
don't
but
think it will. I don't think it will.
too invested.
Yeah.
but there was a point in time where I stopped getting like nervous about going into places. But that's why I like to feel. I like to feel the fear a little bit. Like I don't know what's going to happen. And it was a 6-7 month span where I was like, I can walk in anywhere. So I was pushing the limits a little bit, and they pushed back finally. And then now I'm like, okay, I felt that again. Let's backtrack a little bit because it was fun, but I don't want it all the time. But no, that's cool. I mean, it's all about learning in this field, and you always learn. You will get. Have you felt since you started to now a little more comfortable?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So we've been on a lot of paid investigations. It's just something that we really enjoy to do. Like Jeremy said, when we go out of town, the first two things we do is find the haunted history book of whatever city, town that we're in, buy it, and then we find a history or, historical ghost walking tour. And with the investigations, people would briefly tell us like what it is that we're doing, and that was exciting because we didn't really know all the things, and like that's something that we have vowed to do is just like be a little more informative.
Right.
So as an example, with the walking tour, they can add on dowsing rods or an EMF detector, and so explaining those to them, which is his job. I even hand him my recorder and I'm like, here, stop this. Like I let him handle all the equipment. I don't know much about it.
It gets them more engaged. It gives
Yeah.
them something to actually be involved with, involved in the investigation kind of. And that's something which, going all these investigations that we've done, paid investigations, is like some of the things that they do and they say, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up. And that's something that she said, we vowed to do when we started this, where we think we would be really good at this, is we know what we would want in an investigation, what we would enjoy doing and experiencing. So, and another thing, we kind of like to debunk everything, if something was to happen, and we're really going to find out that if it actually happened or it didn't, because we don't want any false positives there.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool because like you said, get people involved, like EMF detectors. I don't really use them, but just walking around doing a tour, nothing's happening. Then you have a new person doing a tour, and that thing spikes a little bit. I mean, go up 2 lights. How excited do they get?
Exactly. Exactly. And I mean, anybody can walk around and just talk and point to a building. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But getting somebody a piece of equipment, getting them involved in it, getting them to actually see their face light up, get a little spooked a little bit. That's what it's about for us. And to show them, shed some more light on the history of the town, and let them have a little bit of excitement at the same time.
So yeah, there's a lot of history down there, and I'm wondering why paranormal's not that big down there compared to like the north.
Right.
Is it because of the religious aspect?
If I had to guess, I would say good old Bible Belt.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I mean, it's because you go to the Caribbean, they believe in the stuff.
That's right.
Majority don't investigate it. We know it's there, we leave it alone. And I wonder if that's kind of got pushed up through 200 years into the Mississippi. I mean, New Orleans is still huge, but I don't know how much they investigate in New Orleans.
They do quite a bit. They do.
Yeah.
But what's an interesting fact about Ocean Springs is that it was incorporated in 1699. That was 300 years before New Orleans ever was incorporated over there. So there's tons more history here before New Orleans ever started.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're trying to do. Like I said, shed more light and get things going down here because there's tons of it around. There's plenty of it. But we were talking just the other day. All the shows that you see are all up north.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, so it's, I don't know. We just like to bring more people down here to see
Yeah.
what we have to offer.
Yeah, and we didn't know. We knew we wanted to have public investigations, but we weren't sure exactly what that was going to look like. And so I had already been a part of a lot of the Facebook groups, paranormal groups, things like that for years. And then once we opened up Dark Water Tours, we, snuck our way in, and everybody has just been so friendly. At first I was like, oh, nobody, we're not going to be part of Paranuity because we're not paranormal investigators,
Right.
And so, but that's not the case. We've been treated exceptionally well, and we really appreciate it. We just, we want to be a part of the community, and I feel like we are. But we're excited because in middle of March, we're going to do the Haunted Fairbanks House in Sicily Island, Louisiana.
Okay.
Have you heard of that one, the Fairbanks House?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never been there though.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be pretty spooky.
Yeah, there was a couple of episodes that have aired on that one. And so we're pretty excited. It's going to be the Louisiana Spirits that are hosting. So we're just going as guests. We want to meet new people and learn, and also have the experience ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's right up our alley. This is what we live for. And and then it's March. We're gonna have a booth at the New Orleans Paracon. That kind of just happened because at first we were like, well, we got asked if we wanted to do that, and I was like, well, what in the world would we do? We don't have merchandise, we don't
sell anything like that.
So we know a guy that runs a tour group in New Orleans. They're the New Orleans Paranormal Society, and fabulous guy. He pretty much
very knowledgeable.
Took us underneath his wing, and has helped us out a lot when it comes to building the tours and things like that. But anyway, so we're doing the Paracon just to kind of get eyes and visibility and introduce ourselves, because I know that if I'll drive to New Orleans, which we went back November and did the Andrew Jackson Motel, which was on the bucket list for the longest time because it just standing out front gives you the chills.
Yeah, it does.
So we're gonna do the Paracon, and then that's the end of July, and then middle of July we are gonna go to St. Louis, Missouri, and meet up with Creations of Uniqueness, the Strange, Dark, and Mysterious Market. And then also Explorers of the Afterlife. They're putting on this camping trip, and going to hang out during the day and then do some investigating at night. And again, we're going just as guests. I mean, we're still
still new to
the paid people that taking and doing all the things, just like we want everybody to do. Come to our tour, we'll come to yours.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Everybody talks about Paraunity, and there's a lot of people out there like Paraunity's dead. I'm like, it's not. No. You just got to network, and you're going to see going to these investigations that you're going to create friends forever, whatever you want to call them, forever friends. Or we have Almay Paranormal on here tonight. She jumped on. Donna Sherman. She's part of Verona Ghost Chasers. I always call her my number one fan because she jumps on every show. And if you guys have any questions, throw them out there. But, I met Almay, investigated with her. I met Verona, investigated with them. And now there's 6 or 7 groups that we just get together. And we just investigate. And you talked about going camping, have a good time. That reminds me of we do a fellowship with the spirits. This will be our second year in November. I started last year. I invited 7 or 8 groups, and it's more about just having a good time, going out and investigating a little bit. And that's what we did. We went to Madison Seminary, hung out. I mean, it was 24 degrees in there in the building. So investigate for like 45 minutes, come back, warm up. But it was a great time. And that's what it's about, like just having a good time. And there's a lot of good people, like you said, Zach, and all these people are willing to help you out.
Yeah.
They don't know you. That's what's great about it.
Not at all. And there for a while, they probably had no idea who was behind any messages or comments, whether it was me or Jeremy, because we didn't really, you don't really specify. Nobody does. No. I had put out a post not too long ago, and I was like, all right, look, I need everybody to tell me who you're with, what group you're with, if you have a page, if I can't keep up. But it's slowly starting to all come together, and I'm connecting the dots. And I mean, the community's huge. Like,
humongous.
Blown away. I love it. I love it. And like I had mentioned to you earlier, I have had so many different experiences. It just, I can't help but not be, I don't know. It's just right up my alley. There's just really no other way to say it. Like, this is my dream job. Well, Josh Gates actually has my dream job, but that'll never happen. So
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, he does such a good job. I love his show, but no, I mean, I think, I started like social media like a year and a half ago was when I really got into social media. It was cool. Then it got competitive and drama filled. And I was like, I don't do drama. Like, let's just take a step back and let's see where this goes. Then I started my podcast up, and it kind of, took off. Then the drama started dropping off a little bit. And I say 90% of groups out there just want to have a good time, investigate. They're not competitive. Even podcasters. I've had podcasters on my show. I've gone on their show, and we support each other. That's what I love about it. It's not, listen, I don't make any money off this. Like, no one makes money off paranormal. You guys do tours. You guys might cover your costs. I mean, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
And that's what we talked about when we started this, is that we're not trying to get rich at doing anything like this. We enjoy doing it. And we enjoy getting together. And that's one of the best things about it. We do it as a family. Our daughter even gets involved with it. She's 8 years old. She enjoys doing it. So that's one of the things that we just love doing it. And that's why we want to get everybody else involved as well and come down here and get people to see we have more to offer than just beaches and casinos. I mean, there's more to it than that.
So do you guys get any backlash because your daughter's so young? Like, that answers that question. No,
well,
sure. Go ahead.
It is frowned upon a little bit. The main thing that we get told a lot is, you're going to bring something home. She's going to bring something home. I don't know.
As long as you protect yourself and do your prayers, you're good.
Our daughter does not go on full-blown investigations with us or anything like that. But what she does enjoy doing is like the prep work. Like when we first started going out to the Point Cribs before we opened it up to the public and we were doing our own little investigation, she likes to walk through the cemetery with her dowsing rods and and she also likes to listen to EVP recordings with Jeremy. And so but she also makes our little, we've done a few videos with Raven, put it on TikTok and things like that. But
she enjoys doing that.
Yeah.
She's a little actress.
I'm not really worried about it because she's not full blown, she's not breaking out the Ouija board on Friday night saying, can we have family night?
game night. Break out the Ouija board.
Yeah.
No, I mean, honestly, I don't have a problem with it. My daughter does it with me. I mean, she's older now, but I think she was 12 when she started going with me here and there. But I mean, you're a mother, father, you're not going to put your daughter in harm's way.
No, absolutely not.
And being even amateur investigators, as you call yourself, which you're more than amateurs, But what do you think? What do you think? Like friendly spirits to dark spirits are? I mean, I believe there's like over 90% of spirits just want to be heard.
I agree.
Yep, absolutely.
So I mean,
they're either trapped or don't know what's going on and or just need help.
Yeah.
I don't think they're here to necessarily bother or hurt anybody.
I think they just want to be heard,
right?
Yes,
and remembered. I mean, that's my biggest thing. I always tell everybody, a lot of people on my show, is that I'm not here to try to find the answers to the afterlife. I'll find that out sooner or later. That's life. I mean, I just want, but the one thing everybody's scared of is being forgotten. So let's go out there and remember. And that's what you're doing with the history.
Yep.
You're remembering the history, which, let's be honest, in this day and age, we try to erase history.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are keeping that alive, so to speak.
Right.
And, and that's a beautiful thing to me. I mean, I can go to a place, get no action, but it's just cool to see that building or that place because of the history that it went through. I'm going to bring up one thing too, beaches. Do you guys investigate beaches with all the shipwrecks? I mean, I know they're miles off shore, but do you think there's something there?
I do. Yeah. But we have not investigated a whole lot on that side, but I definitely believe, I mean, I couldn't imagine that there wouldn't be just.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is a lot of activity. But yeah, we haven't had the chance or opportunity to get over to doing that part of the investigations for the beaches or any shipwrecks or something like that, which it'd be cool to do. But it's just, you got to know the right person. And that's what we're trying to do, is try to network and get involved in some of these things and figure out how we can get to these investigations.
Yeah,
a lot of private areas here is what Jeremy's talking about, like as far as like going and investigating on. We have like several public beach areas. But have you ever heard of the Singing River story? So long time ago, there were two tribes, and they were fighting, and one of the tribes, Indian tribes, were getting the best of the other. And so one group, and I apologize, there's literally, to this story, there's no like tribe A or tribe B, like any type of name or anything. But supposedly they chose death over being like, they walked into the water hand in hand, and they were singing a song. And we have actually heard it. They claim that you can hear this humming, singing sound over in the Pascagoula River, over off by in Pascagoula, Mississippi. And it is beautiful and eerie all at the same time.
Very eerie.
But like I said, they just chose to the whole clan to walk into the Pascagoula River and end it versus, being taken out by the other tribe. And like I said, we have heard it. It starts off, we've heard it twice. It starts off like a train slowing down on tracks, but then it turns into this, and I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. I love it. So,
how big is this river? Is it like huge, or can you like kayak it or something?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty. I don't even know.
I couldn't tell you how big it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty massive.
It goes into the Gulf.
Yeah.
The Pascagoula River.
Because I mean, I'm just picturing it would be very cool to do like an investigation, like kayak night investigation. With like
exactly
tape a REM pod or something on your kayak. I don't know.
Right.
We've knocked on the door of the home, which is also historic itself, that is on the property where this happened, and we're still knocking. So
okay, I mean, something different, you know, even if it's boats. Do you guys have alligators down there?
Oh my gosh, yes. When we first moved here, there was one in the middle of the road, like you would see a deer crossing, and I was like, I don't know what to think about Mississippi, but and turtles, and we call them trash pandas. What's their real name? What are they called?
Raccoon.
Trash panda. Raccoon. Yeah.
We call them up. Same thing up here.
Yeah.
They actually call our city nature's playground because we have everything. We even have a
There's
black
no
bear.
joke. No joke.
So
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have alligators, but we got trash pandas, and some bears will come through here every now and then, migrating to the mountains. So it's but as long as we don't have alligators or poisonous snakes, that's all I care about. Like, and I'm
right.
not that stuff scares me. I'd rather walk into a haunted basement than deal with any of that stuff. So
Yeah.
Right.
no, it's cool. Mississippi's awesome. A lot of history. Let's get into your investigations. Like, have you ever gone into a place that you like kind of question, like, this is pretty bad in here?
No.
Mm.
No. And this is probably bizarre to say. I'm sad that I haven't experienced that yet. I thought that it was going to be like that at the House in Between in Florence, Mississippi, because of what I had heard about it and just poltergeist type activity and demonic and all the things. And no, I remember one investigation that we did. This group of people was telling us this is the worst part of the house. This is where everybody feels they get sick, and be careful, you may pass out. And I was like, I am so calm in this room. Well, then we ended up going upstairs, and that was the room that I was like, what is happening in here? But it still wasn't anything that I kind of felt like, maybe we shouldn't be here.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard when you are hyped up to it. It could go either way.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you can influence yourself into thinking you are sick or nothing.
Right.
I mean, usually no in between. So I don't do history before I go to a new place. That's just my thing. I go in blind because I don't want to be influenced.
Right.
Now, if I get stuff, I'll go back. I'll do history, then go back, because I don't want to be. Because you guys use a whole bunch of equipment too, like as you said, EVPs. If you hear the word Sarah, you know, there's a ghost Sarah in here, and you go over EVP, you're probably going to hear the word Sarah on there. So I don't like to be influenced. That's just me. A lot of people are like, you have to do the history. And I'm like, I will, just after the fact.
After. It is cooler to find out after, because it's like, it's that aha moment, like, like, no way, we caught that. Like, I didn't realize that this was, you know, going to happen, or that this was a thing, you know. At the LaPointe Krebs house that we did the investigation a couple weeks ago, we didn't tell anybody any of the reported things for that very reason. We wanted them to experience things on their own and not be influenced. Like, I mean, when you hear tour company, a lot of people probably think, oh, well, they're about jump scares and they're fabricating things and making stuff up. And, you know, we don't have to.
No.
We, you know, the stories are there. The situations have happened. We took a guy on a tour that was total skeptic and nice guy. But he let us know from the jump that
he don't believe in
he don't
stuff,
believe.
right?
His wife dragged him out. We said, okay, cool. You know, the very first stop was the L&N Railroad Depot in Ocean Springs. And he was standing back a little bit, and we were talking and explaining and going over the history part of it. And he called somebody over. But anyway, he said that he was seeing like this shadow peek around a door frame. And so we all stood back and looked, and it was like a 10-foot, you know, in the older homes and spaces back then, they would have the windows above the doors that you could crank open, and it's to let the draft in and things like that, like ventilation. Yeah. And that's where he was seeing. Well, the next thing you know, we all started seeing it. So he was like, okay, you know, like I didn't expect anything to happen. And we tell people, you know, the spirits are not circus animals. We cannot guarantee that any story that we tell you that you'll see or hear or feel. We have another stop that part of the story is where the woman was, you know, she would always sit on her front porch and just kind of keep an eye on the neighborhood. And every time we stop there, no matter what, if it's the 6:30 tour or the 9 o'clock tour, if the wind's blow, if it's windy out, it doesn't matter. That one spot every time, everybody's hair will just whoosh, just like, and it's unexplained. We don't know,
what
you
that's
know.
about, but
And so yeah, so like I said, nothing made up. We don't do jump scare. We don't, you know.
if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know, and that's why we enjoy doing it. It's because you never know what you're going to get with it for sure.
And I have to tell you too, at the LaPointe Krebs house, we had our tripwire out, and we started it off. We started it off with no sound, and then we moved over to another part of the house, and then we came back. We didn't take the tripwire with us. We were just doing like different segments of different things, and that tripwire did not go off one time. It was fine. It was fine. But at the very end, when we were thanking the house and thanking whoever interacted with us the whole entire time for allowing us to be there and to talk to us, it went off. It was the coolest thing. We were able to catch that on camera. And so that to me meant more
than seeing it go
off randomly the whole entire time, because it was kind of like, you're welcome, bye. You know, It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love the tripwire because you have to get within like 2 inches for that thing to go off.
Right.
It's not like the dead bell where you can be 4 or 5 feet away from it. You know, if you have your phone, it'll go off. The tripwire is like my go-to besides my recorder. And I love that thing. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But I mean, no,
well,
even like
you think about the Phasma box that I had mentioned. Have you?
I have not used the Phasma box yet. I'm supposed to do an investigation with Future Ghost coming up, and they're pretty tight knit with Lona and Dark, so maybe they'll have one. I don't know. I've heard it. I've been trying to get a Fent box made for 6 months. Supposedly, I might get one this summer. We will see, but I mean, I love my Spirit box. I use that all the time. That's like my go-to if nothing's really happening. I'll break out the Spirit box. I mean, obviously the recorder, you don't know till, you know, a week later. So you don't know what you got. But EVP wise, I'm an EVP junkie. I'll record. If I'm in a place 8 hours, I'm recording 7 hours and 45 minutes. And I will listen to that for 7 hours and 45 minutes. If I get one EVP, I'm happy.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So, talking about
the gentleman that was founder of the LaPointe Krebs was Hugo Krebs. That was one of them. And, rule of thumb, and you know this probably better than us, that if one person hears it, it probably wasn't that. But if 2 or 3 people hear it, then that's what it was.
That's what it was.
And we got some really cool. Hugo came through on the Phasma box. We even had a little girl that said "blowing kisses" like in a sing-song voice.
Yes.
That was pretty cool. And so there's a lady there. Well, she was there. Her name is Julie Remy, and she was an African-American slave back then, and they loved her. And so when Hugo was on his deathbed, he put in his will that, his executor was to continue with the emancipation of Julia. And so that's what happened. But then once she was emancipated, they kept her on the property and gave her her own house, and she took care of the kids, and everybody loved her. Well, she's the only African-American that's buried in the family cemetery. And so when we heard the singing, we started talking to Julia and asking, is that you? Do you sing to the children? And we got a lot of responses from that. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, that's cool. Like you talk about, I have one EVP that I really love. I have a few, but I was doing, like I said, I don't do any history before. We were at one place, and I was actually at work listening to my EVPs because I have a little downtime, and a name came over, Henry Garnett. And I'm like, what is this? And I was like, Henry Garnett. I'm like, we weren't talking. Like, we were talking, but it came over. So I Googled it. Same town, escaped slave, everything matched up. Wow. And I was like flipping out. I'm like,
I love that. Yes.
I've never had anything like that. I'm like, oh my God. So I call my friend, I'm like, come up here, listen to this thing. Tell me what it says. And they're like, it's Henry Garnett. I'm like, really? I'm like, so I mean, yeah. Again, you have to have 3 or 4 people listen to it,
right,
and see if they hear the same thing. I mean, this was actually off my video camera. It wasn't off my recorder, so it was pretty good catch. But I was excited. Like, for like 3 days. I was so excited. I wouldn't post it or anything. I was like, I just got to create a video for this and everything. So
Oh, that's awesome. That's one of the reasons why we like Raven to help us with listening, because she either hears something or she doesn't. There's no influence whatsoever. Like for us to be there and to remember the conversation or the questions that are asked. And, speaking of that, the Estes method, that is like one of my favorites. I absolutely love that one. Yeah, I was watching one of your episodes last week or week before that, or the other day, you were talking about you guys were going to get blindfolded and handcuffed or something like that. Like,
I was going to bring that up, but yeah, we're doing that.
I was like, I want to be blindfolded and handcuffed and see what happens. I want in on that.
Yeah, people keep inviting me to investigations. They're probably going to stop sooner or later. So, I mean, I keep telling you invited me because I love playing games, but it's not, there's a reason I like playing games, because I think it helps with the investigation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to think, we're going to be in a prison. They were handcuffed. Mm-hmm. We're going to do it where they were in an electric chair and they were strapped down and they were blindfolded. So that's going to bring some spirits out. Maybe they have something to tell us. And that's why I'm huge in solos also. And I always try to push my team to do solos. And they don't like doing solos. But I'm like, we do poorhouses. We do hospitals. We do old nursing homes. That's what was there. A lot of people were there alone. And the only people that visited were nurses or doctors or a caretaker, one person. So it's about the investigation. Like they're like, they think I'm trying to like scare them and push them to something they don't want to do. And yeah, a little bit. It's fun, but there's a reason for it also.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're using yourself as a trigger item by doing that, you know?
Right. And, what's more fun than getting handcuffed and blindfolded on a chair?
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah, that's a Saturday night around here. I mean,
Lord.
I mean, so when you guys do your tours, do you guys talk about different equipment people can use and, what they do and how they work?
So yeah, whenever we go over our investigation and in the beginning of our tour, we explain to them that we're either using the dowsing rods or the EVPs. I mean, not EVP, EMF detectors. Mm-hmm. And they're pretty straightforward, not very hard to understand. And that's why we chose those two, because they're pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. And like I said, with getting them involved in doing that, it adds a whole nother element to the tour. Mm-hmm. And they think they're really, I don't know, it's just something that when they get involved with it, just seeing them light up, it's really worth it for us.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I can imagine. I've been in this 20 years now, like say 21 years ago, that just to have that EMF detector and have it go off, that'd be unbelievable. Mm-hmm. I mean, we still get excited about it today. We've been doing this forever.
Right.
So, I mean, it's cool. I mean, I don't use EMF detectors that much. All mine I bought years ago are taken apart because I'm trying to, I think I'm a scientist or something and trying to make some other stuff. I'm actually trying to put an EMF detection into a mirror because I do mirror scribing also. So, because supposedly they're portals, so might as well see if something comes through.
Right.
Yeah.
So
interesting. We do for the cemetery tour. We'll take cat balls. And we've used spirit box. We don't break out the tripwire or the Estes method. We're a little more careful at a cemetery. Respect.
Yes.
Number one. But the cat balls, those are a hit. Those are the coolest thing ever.
Oh, they're awesome. Like those. They're simple and cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't go to a place and trip over a cat ball that's been left there. You haven't investigated. I mean, that's
right.
I mean, we trip over them all the time. No, I mean, so cemeteries, I've never investigated a cemetery. I'm going to tell you straight out. People are like, you're crazy doing this for so many years. Are they haunted? People always say yes. But I mean, if I die, I'm not hanging out at a cemetery. That's just me. But could you be going there to see loved ones? I mean, as I grow into this field, I mean, it's possible because family members come to see you at your grave.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe as a spirit, you're going to go back there and see if your family members are coming back. I mean, what are
Right.
your thoughts on cemeteries?
Well, my own thoughts are very similar to what you just said. I couldn't imagine that once I'm gone, I'm not going to hang out at a cemetery either. But just to know, and these days are a lot different than what it used to be too. You don't really see many people unless they're at an active funeral.
Yeah.
I mean, just you don't go and visit. People just don't do that as much anymore. That's one of the reasons why I said that we're a little more careful at the cemetery, because I kind of feel like the activity that we do get there is a portrayal, of the friendly ghost. And so I don't want to do Estes method. I don't want to do, the cemetery is more just for the atmosphere, the history, because it is one of Ocean Springs' oldest cemeteries that we have. But as far as like a deep dive into it, if that makes sense, we just don't.
Yeah. I mean, old cemeteries are unbelievably beautiful, like the headstones and everything. And yeah, I mean, I could see a spirit going back and saying, to a loved one, hey, I'm okay.
Mm-hmm. Right. You don't have to come here for me.
Yeah.
I'm not here.
Right. I'm always with you type thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to come to because I mean, I believe when you pass that your energy is gone when you pass. So time your body gets to the cemetery,
there's nothing there.
Right.
There's nothing there.
Right.
But everybody has different beliefs. And
right.
If you need to go to a cemetery, go to a cemetery. I mean,
right.
Like it's odd that like my grandfather was my mentor, my best friend growing up, and I've never visited his grave once because I just talk to him anytime I want to.
That's right. Absolutely.
So
I agree with that.
And I've had 2 psychic mediums on 2 different occasions, about a year apart, tell me that he's with me.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't believe in that stuff. So, I mean, actually, I'm starting to.
You need one more person to tell you, then you'll start believing.
Yeah, I mean, 2's just luck, 3's for sure.
That's true. Third time's the charm.
Yeah. Let's get into Paracons a little bit. So I'm doing my first Paracon in September. Nervous as hell about it.
Well, we are too.
So, but I think it's a great networking opportunity. You have a business, tours. I do podcasts. So both great networking opportunities, and you're going to meet a lot of great people.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of people doing flea markets. We
are actually doing that. We're doing a craft fair in March. We're just going to set up a booth, and like I said, again, for just visibility, and we're not selling anything, but if they happen to want a book, then we'll have like a QR code where they can scan it and book future events or whatever. But yeah, I mean, Facebook and Instagram and TikTok is just not enough to get the word out there. People want to know that you are legit, that you are, it's kind of hard to just, Facebook is just not the only route. You've got to get out there and network and get your name out there. So if that means going to craft fairs, that's what we're doing.
Well, I mean, think about though, because social media, you're just showing people that are already interested in this.
That's right.
Right? The paranormal, the history. If you go to a craft fair, you're going to get Mary Jo walking by and be like, what's dark water tours? And come talk to you. And then be like, hey, like my daughter's coming down next month. We should do a tour.
Right.
That's how it starts. That's how I picture it. So I mean,
well, I tell you what really helped. We with our area, we are big on Mardi Gras. You think a lot of people think that it's just New Orleans. It originated in Alabama the whole coast of Mississippi is big on it. I mean, we have Mardi Gras balls, we have 4, 5, 6, parades a day all over everywhere. And so we were looking into doing like joining a Mardi Gras float and throwing cups out with our logo on it, or just any type of advertisement. And so when I reached out to this one guy, he was like, yeah, you can do the parade on this date, but we're also doing a Christmas parade. And I was like, how in the world would Dark
How are we
Water
going to tie
Tours
that into a Christmas
fit into
parade?
a Christmas parade? But then I was like,
She figured it out.
how about we do Ghost of Christmas Past? And so we decorated our car with black tulle and put fake black roses and purple roses all over the car. We had a speaker system on top, and we slung out beads with cardstock that had all of our booking information. And I mean, that was a game changer.
Yeah, it really was.
So, I mean, we were literally still in the car riding through the parade, tossing this stuff out, and our phones were just like ding, 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 ding. So, I mean, it
helped for sure.
Things like that is what it's going to take. So
you got to have boots on the ground and actually get out there and get with the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's about. It's all about content.
Mm-hmm.
And that's boots on the ground is content. Like I do, I make a lot of like shirts, and I can't because it's opposite, but shirts, hats. I have a whole bunch that I just supposed to sell by giveaway most of the time. Mm-hmm. It's all about getting my logo out there.
Right.
And people know what I do. And now I've had this conversation with other people, like, you only sell your shirts for this much. I'm like, it's about just breaking even and getting my logo out there.
Right.
Because I'm a podcaster. I want people to come on my show. I want to get to know you. I want other people to get to know you. That's my whole job. So
Yep.
No, that's cool that you guys are doing that. So business wise, growing pretty good then?
The winter is a thing, even in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the holidays, and then with Mardi Gras, but that's we expected it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but no, I mean, everything is going really good. I cannot wait for the warmer weather. I know that we're very excited because with the paranormal investigation that we offered at the La Pointe Krebs house, it was just a one-time deal. And it went over so well. And we had so many people that had contacted the museum and us separately wanting to open up for other dates, that he had reached out to us the other day and said, let's do it once a month. And so super excited about that. And then another thing too, we actually have another guy that runs our tours. His name is Clayton. So Clayton, if you're watching, please forgive us that we have not mentioned you up until this moment. We love you.
We love you.
We were doing another event. We had volunteered to present these like dollhouse size miniature replicas, or of past places, restaurants, fish camps, historical homes in D'Iberville, Mississippi, which is another town close to us. And towards the end of it, I kind of looked down and I saw this guy, and he was presenting and going on. And so I walked down there and listened to him. And I was like, oh my gosh, he is so good. So when we got the opportunity to do the La Pointe Krebs house, we were like, it's just the two of us. Like we build the websites, we map out the routes. We do everything from soup to nuts. And I said, we've been granted this amazing opportunity to do public investigations at La Pointe Krebs, but how are we still going to run tours? How are we still going to do cemetery tours and do the La Pointe Krebs? Because at the beginning, we thought that this was going to be like an every weekend thing. And then the board was just like, let's just see how things go, which is honestly, that's the way it should be, from the beginning, is see how things go. But anyway, so Clayton is one of our tour guides. So if we are doing a cemetery tour, and then in the future, once a month when we're at La Pointe Krebs, Clayton's our guy. Yep. He's so good. I mean, he's better than us, actually.
Yeah.
I think part of it is that when we first started this, we were like, we're not going. We had we were walking around downtown Ocean Springs and mapping some things out, and we had a few people that just would flat out say, hey, what are you doing? And we would tell them what we were doing. they said, you're not going to dress up and like have big headgear and
Period
robes and
outfits
like,
and
and we were
stuff
like,
like
no,
that, no.
we're just going to wear like a logo t-shirt and, you know, walk them through the streets. It's not going to be like any dramatics or whatever. And so I think that when we decided that we wanted to keep that at a minimum, when we started building our stories, they would sound more and more like theatric. And then we would say, stop, like you sound like you were up on stage. Like we don't want to do this. But with Clayton, he doesn't have that same mindset.
No,
so when he goes to talk about it, it's just like, I'm like, tell me more, Clayton. It's so good. It's so good.
No, I mean, that's cool because, I mean, that's my biggest issue. Like, because I do Facebook Lives and TikTok Lives when I do investigations. I don't get excited. Like, it's weird. Like, I have people I work with. They're like, oh my God, the trip rope went off. I'm like, trip rope. Like, wow, great. You know, it's cool, but that's just my personality. Just get excited. But I think you guys are in a good area to do this because, you know, it's touristy. You know, Biloxi is. You got the casinos there, but there's a lot of families that go down there because of the beaches. And besides looking for shark teeth on the beach at night, there's really not much else to do down there.
What else is there to do?
Yeah, so might as well go on a ghost tour. I mean, I reached out to you guys because I was going down there, but you guys were, I think, going back to Tennessee during that time.
Yes,
I was down there during Christmas. So my son's in Nebraska now, so I don't know when I'll get back down there.
Oh, goodness.
Well, I just drove him out to Nebraska to his Air Force base the other day. But
did you fly down here when you came back in December or November?
Yeah,
or did you drive?
I flew down.
Okay, I was wondering how long it would take to drive. I don't fly, so.
Oh, I don't. I'm getting used to it. So, I mean, I'm a type of person that needs an exit strategy on everything, and planes, you don't have one. So, it's taken me a lot.
I'm not afraid of ghosts, but I'm afraid of planes. It's not happening.
Yeah.
No.
I would be your solo pro. I would go solo anywhere before I would get in a plane, hands down.
Yeah, I'm getting better at it. So I'm flying to UK in June. So we'll see how that goes.
Nice.
And, yeah, I'm doing 4-night investigation out there. So, or over there, whatever you want to call it, across the pond.
Across the pond. That's right.
Across the pond. No, I mean, no, it's cool. Besides, I mean, Biloxi, I can tell you one thing. What's up with all the freaking Waffle Houses?
Have you seen the $1 Million Waffle House? Did you happen to? It's like up on stilts, and I don't know.
It's like
they're on every corner. Every
one. It's
a mile. I don't think it's a mile. Like I'm driving down.
It's not.
It's not. It's awful.
And then the one, what's the one IHOP they have? You can't even barely fit in.
Oh yeah, it's so tiny. And it's funny too because a lot of our like mom and pop restaurants close at like 6 o'clock, and they're not open on Monday. Like I told you, it was culture shock coming down here. We love not having any traffic. So, but I'm so glad that we're here. I mean, you know, I believe that everything happens for a reason. When I joked and said, let's come, there was a reason. And, you know, my parents are here. And so, and we're like hour and a half to New Orleans and then like an hour and a half east to the pretty beaches. I mean, what else could you ask for?
Yeah.
Perfect.
But I can tell you one thing. I've never been possessed. I've never really had an attachment. I've never eaten at a Waffle House. So I think I'm doing pretty good in life.
So you mean to tell me that when you were here, you were not drawn to none of the 5,000 Waffle Houses?
No, it was close because I was there Christmas Day. It was just me and my son. My wife had to fly back, you know, a day earlier. I think we went to like CVS because they were open, or Walgreens. And we found a Mexican restaurant that was open, but it was close to coming to a Waffle House. But I fought the urge and didn't.
Love it. That's too funny. Well, I'm glad that you haven't been possessed, but you do need to try a Waffle House.
No,
that's a Southern thing. Do y'all have a lot of Waffle Houses up north?
Not one every 500 feet, but there's a couple.
You want to know what else we have every 500 feet? Dollar General.
Yeah, we got that.
Mhm.
We do have Dollar Generals everywhere up here, and I won't go in them. I will not go in
But we
Dollar
don't have a
General.
Walmart.
Yeah, we can't have a Walmart.
That's
No,
it. Mm-mm.
there's a Walmart. No, there's a Walmart there.
Well, we've got them like in the bigger, like Gulfport is considered like one of the bigger, yeah. But little Goshen, Mississippi,
No,
No.
nothing. We don't even have a downtown.
it's not a bad thing. Traffic's better than.
No, it's honestly, I
yeah.
wouldn't trade it for nothing. Murfreesboro traffic was not fun. No, we love it down here. And there, there's a lot of, it's really funny because in the last 6 years, we have been talking about how much we missed out on in Tennessee. There's the Stones River Battleground. There's, you could probably tell me all the things everybody knows. There's so much in Tennessee. My uncle was locked up in Bushy Mountain.
I was about to ask you about Brushy Mountain.
My dad, when I asked him, what did he get locked up for? It's penitentiary. He said stealing fruit. That's the only thing he'll tell me. He didn't get locked up in a penitentiary for stealing fruit. I don't think I'll ever know the answer, but.
Did you get to investigate Brushy Mountain?
No, we did not.
No.
We did not. And it's like
I
we're
would
here
have
now,
loved to. I would
and
love to.
so now when we go back home, we're like, we need to make sure we get over there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But when we lived there all our life and never went.
Never went.
Yeah, I Brushy Mountain's one of those places I want to go on. Hopefully next year. My schedule's full this year. I can't do any more than I'm doing. It kind of like I booked one and everybody else invited me everywhere else. And I'm like, I made the schedule. I'm like, I'm done. Like,
Right.
I can't do anymore. But no, Brushy Mountain is cool. Like I would love to do Brushy Mountain. And there's old South Pittsburgh Hospital.
South Pittsburgh.
Tennessee.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And your shrine's not in Tennessee, is it?
I'm not sure. Never heard of that.
I don't think so. What's the dam called out towards Chattanooga? That one's getting pretty popular. I can't think of the name of it, but yeah, it was weird because like when we would travel for vacation, we looked for things like that. But then when we were back home, it was all work,
Yeah.
and just never really even thought about it, about seeing what was.
I mean, when we were younger, we did go to certain hot spots around where we lived.
Yes.
Beth Bureau Church was one of them that we've been to, and Chapel Hill Lights.
Yes, we've got the Chapel Hill, Tennessee story, which I think every state has this one. It's where the swinging light on the train tracks.
Oh, we have the Lady in Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, every town has a freaking Lady in Blue.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like
exactly.
It's just funny because they do ghost tours in certain towns, and there's always a Lady in Blue on the road tracks. So I'm like, no, there's not. And there's a Sarah. There's a Sarah in every haunted location too, for some reason.
Yeah.
So we had told you that we like to debunk things, and the Windsor ruins. I don't think I've heard of that
I
one.
never heard of that one.
Where's that at? Central Michigan? Is that down Mississippi or Michigan?
I've been told though that with the railroad tracks, if there are two spots to cross over within a mile or so of one another, you can go to one spot and then have somebody drive over, and when the headlights hit the tracks, it shoots that light down. And so we've tested that, and it's exactly what happened.
What happens.
And so unfortunately, Fort Gibbs.
Never heard of that one. I'll look into that.
We'll check that out.
No, I'm lucky because I'm in Ohio. They say it's one of the most haunted states. It's still kind of out there. I know Texas has a lot too. Pennsylvania has a lot. West Virginia, Kentucky. We got like the tri-state area that's pretty big. I'm fortunate enough that I grew up with Madison Seminary doing my investigations. I know a lot of people, it's gotten big lately because a lot of people have gone there through shows. It's 10 minutes down the road from me.
Oh, wow.
So everybody's like, you're doing Madison Seminary? I'm like, yeah, it's right down the road. Like, I do it all the time. I've been there 15 times to investigate. I love it. And one thing I want to ask you is because Madison Seminary, it's a big place, but it has so many different types of spirits. That's why I love it. You got your dark jackass doctor in the attic, and then you have your nurses and kids and everything that likes to play. Do you guys have anything like that down there? Where, because a lot of places you go to is just like dark, or it's just a nice place. Is there a mix? A place you guys like to go that's like a mix of spirits?
We really haven't, because Mississippi doesn't have that many public spots, so more so for Tennessee, I would say. Say the name of the church, because I always mess it up.
Beth Bureau Church.
That's in like Lewisburg, Tennessee area. That church is something that they don't open it to the public. When we were in our 20s or so, we would sneak in. And something, a lot, there's a graveyard behind the church, and it's your typical movie, like horror movie, pictured white steeple church, real small. Has the wooden pews. There's nothing to it. Behind it is a cemetery, and they have like wax where, from candles where you can tell that people have been out there doing certain rituals and things like that. So there's been a darkness that's been brought to this place,
Absolutely.
Period. That church is something else. There's something dark inside that church. Like, it's just.
When the story you told me about you going in there and investigating that when you were younger, and the things you've said, I absolutely believe there's something evil in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the folklore to that one is, a lot of towns have this one too, but it's the Bible story that if you take the Bible off the pew and you try to leave the church with it, and you get in the car, and the Bible gets heavier and heavier as you're trying to leave with it, and then headlights turn on behind you, like your typical like Goosebumps type story.
Yeah.
I experienced none of that. But what I did experience is that when you first walked in, there was on the left and right side of like this just little walk-in area, there were chalkboards, and there was writing all over it in a different language. And we had a camcorder and we videotaped it. And then we ended up going upstairs to what might have been like the, Bible study room or something. And we heard this loud crash downstairs. So we all started running. And one of the pews was completely knocked over. Like the whole 12-foot pew was like laying like forward, and all 8 of us were upstairs. There wasn't one single person that was left. And this is out in the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And so when we reviewed the camera where we were videoing, the first shot where we were panning, like as we were walking in, there was absolutely no writing on the chalkboard, like nothing. And so I don't know, I wish that I had a better answer to that for you, Ryan, but we just, have not been to a lot of places that to kind of, say one way or the other that we are, Yeah,
we're still new, and we're still trying to, open the doors to some of the places around here. We've heard stories of places around here that, they have Aunt Jenny's Catfish House, which used to be an insane asylum, that they say the julep room is haunted, and the house itself, the asylum part, is haunted. We'd love to get in there. Haven't had that opportunity yet. The Mary C. O'Keefe School, they say, is very haunted. They've had a couple of people investigate there, and some of the videos we've watched from those investigations are pretty intense.
Mm-hmm.
So
the Coliseum that's across from in Biloxi, the Coliseum, that we have a lot of the concerts and stuff like that here. Yeah. But a lot of it's locked down. But as I mentioned before, we're doing some knocking.
Yeah.
We're knocking on doors, and that's all we can do.
That's the worst thing they can say is no.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
mean, that's the worst thing. So
Mhm.
so many people are scared to ask, like, "Hey, can I go investigate this?" I mean, they say no, they say no.
Right. The group that where the Singing River
Yeah,
story comes from, I won't drop any names right now, but their reasoning was it's just not structurally sound right now. So to me, that wasn't a absolutely not. It was just not right now,
it's just not
and
safe.
so things take time.
Yeah, and like we were saying, I mean, the history's here, the hauntings are here,
Yeah,
and it's just nobody has actually investigated a lot of these places, or just because people haven't had the access to it.
Hmm.
So that's one of our goals, is to try to open those doors, not just for us, but for everybody else as well.
For sure.
All right, Jeremy, I got a question for you. Why do you think churches have a dark entity in them?
I'm not really sure. It just depends on, I guess, what was left behind or what somebody has opened up in that church to bring it in. Either they did some things they weren't supposed to do and left something open, or I don't know. I'm not very sure, but for that particular church we were talking about, there's just a feeling that I got every time that I went that it would a very uncomfortable feeling.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's a lot of churches out there that are older churches that have been
Yeah.
shut down for a long time that have that dark feeling somewhere in that church.
Hmm.
I just don't know the reason why. Maybe they're not like was once a living spirit. I mean, I don't want to say demonic, but a darker entity that wants to prey on the religion,
Hmm.
Hmm.
push that religion out. I don't know. I mean, as like we said, we will never know the answers
Hmm.
Right.
to them, but it's just weird that these old churches usually have a darker entity to them.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think the deeper you are into religion, the harder you could be hit from the darker side. Because what do they want with the ones that are non-believers, so to speak, so to say.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. The more you believe, the more religious you are, the more they're trying to attack you.
right.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, look at history itself. If you weren't Christian, we try to push you Christian, right? Yeah, you got flashing lights.
Our resident ghost.
I just saw it, but they try to push you to that religion.
Hmm.
right.
So, I mean, same thing with maybe darker things. Like they don't want other darker things. They're trying to get you more into the dark.
Right.
So it's possible it's the same thing. I had another question I totally forgot because we started talking about that. But but we'll go through a couple generic things. I always ask people your favorite equipment you like to use. You have to pick one piece.
Tripwire, absolutely.
You can't pick the same.
Mine's the Estes method.
Okay.
The first time I ever did it, I didn't even really know what I was doing. They just said, we're going to put this blindfold on you, and anything that you hear, spit it out. It doesn't matter what it is. And
Kind of blew our mind.
it did,
Yeah.
because there was a point in time that I almost forgot that I was even in a room full of people. It was just cool. It was really cool.
I mean, it's cool when you're under, but you have no idea what they're asking, which is weird.
Right.
I usually go under. My daughter used to always go do the Estes because I can trust her and what she's saying. But she stopped going, so I started doing a lot more. It's a practice; you gotta get used to it. But once you come out and they're saying "Oh my god, this, and this matched up," you're like, "Really? It didn't make sense to me." But then you watch the video and you're like, "Damn, that's pretty cool." So
Yes.
we're doing an Estes this Friday. We're going to the Bel Air house, which is a pretty dark house. Had some history myself there, and one group's going with me. Verona had some history there, and I just felt like I needed to go back for a third time for some odd reason. And I invited Mandy from Ghost Sisters to go, and she's going to go with us. And I think we're going to do Estes Attic, which is pretty active, and the basement, which is pretty dark. And I think we're gonna do a double Estes there and have someone in the middle ask questions and see what we get.
Cool.
So,
Yes.
a lot of people are doing the double Estes now. It's like the new thing. Then you got the triple Estes. People are trying to outdo everybody with these Estes methods. So I was like, I like playing games. So we had the Fellowship of the Spirits coming up in November, and I think there's 29 of us total going there. It's 60,000 square feet.
Wow.
So I'm going to try to do like a 15-person Estes method. So everybody has their phones on speakers, and you'll be solo doing Estes with one person somewhere central, just asking questions, see if stuff lines up.
That's cool.
That's
Can't wait to
pretty
hear about that
interesting.
one.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
I have a feeling nothing's really going to happen.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
But
But hey,
the
it
concept
might.
is super cool. I like it.
I could say I did it. I'm like,
Right.
I'm
That's right.
gonna have to look at the Guinness Book of World Records. What's the biggest Estes method? Let's do this.
Right.
But again, that's how, a lot of the tools we use today is how we got there. It's just by the experiments of it,
Yeah.
You never know what's going to work and what's not going to work.
Yeah.
So
And
that's the only way we can get there.
I love that you guys use EMF detectors, very simple equipment, and dowsing rods, very simple. And I think we kind of need to start going back toward that because of all the equipment we have. And it's a good starting point. I always tell people a cheap recorder and a cat ball. That's all you need. So, but dowsing rods, I got to get back into them. I loved them when I first started this. I kind of, with all the cool gadgets now, they kind of got thrown to the side. And I always say I'm going to get back into them. So, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about your business a little bit more. You guys do a couple tours I saw online. And then you guys plan adding any more tours besides maybe doing, the house you're talking about, whatever? Or are you guys just going to keep at those 2 tours?
So we're hoping to expand into a couple of other of the coastal towns. But right now we do Friday and Saturday night. We do 2 tours each. So we do 2 tours of the walking tour and then 2 tours of the cemetery. And we just split up. And to keep from burnout, we one will do a cemetery and one will do Friday and one will do Saturday at a different location and just swap. But as far as like the investigations go, that's something that, like I was telling you earlier, that we would really like to build on that. We're not trying to turn coastal Mississippi into like a, haunted attraction. But, like I said, there's just not a whole lot to do here. And one of the cool things that I can say from this last investigation with the LaPointe Krebs house was that there were a lot of people that returned to walk through the museum because that was part of it at the beginning. We introduced ourselves, we explained what the night was going to look like, and then we walked them through the museum briefly, let them kind of get a visual, and then we moved over to the main house, and then eventually moved over to the cemetery. And people were like, this is cool, I got to come back. And so we have a lot of historical places down here in the South that could use some more visitors to help with preservation, And so that's our ultimate goal is just to preserve the history,
shed some more light on it.
That's right. Got to keep talking about it, and we're not going to let history fade away.
Well, I think just like you said, people are talking about it already. The people that went through, they're going to tell their friends, and you hit it right ahead. Preserve these historical places. And a lot of people don't understand like what the paranormal has done to preserve these historical places. Yes, you do have to pay to play, but I've had plenty of owners on this show. They're not rich. They're not getting rich. How expensive is it to put a roof on a 60,000 square foot building? But they're keeping them alive. Keeping the history alive, keeping the memories alive of these, trap souls, lost souls, whatever you want to call them. And that's what people don't understand. People are like, how can we do paranormal? That's disrespectful. It's not.
No.
Are there people out there that do disrespect it? Yes. But majority don't. We're here to create memories. You your family and your daughter are creating so many memories right now.
That's right.
Right.
Mhm.
She is never going to forget about.
No.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I mean, she's going to tell her kids, do you know what me and my parents used to do? We used to sit in cemeteries. And they're going to be
Right.
like, what?
Yeah.
And, it's campfire stories. That's right
That's
there.
right.
That's what it's all about. I always tell people that's what it's all about.
It's fun. Instead of sitting behind a screen, sitting at home all night, it gets her out doing something, gets us out,
Mhm.
keeps us all active, and we're doing it together. So
Yeah.
we really enjoy that.
That's the most important part. So
When we first got started, it was kind of cute because we would walk around downtown Ocean Springs over and over and over again, and then we would have like little recline moments. We would go to the ice cream place and sit down and take notes and ask questions and
go over the routes, kind of figure them out,
She really
time
liked
everything.
it. So.
Yeah, it was fun.
that's cool. All right,
and our tours are safe for kids too.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't suggest toddler in a stroller. But yeah, so.
It's really cool. I mean, I appreciate what you guys are doing
Thank you.
down there. I think you guys are going to do great down there. I mean, you're groundbreaking Mississippi paranormal. I can kind of say that on the golf, and you're going to grow. You're going to keep growing, and you're going to keep that history alive down there. I mean, let's be honest. The history is always going to be alive down there.
Mhm.
Right.
That's one thing you guys are very good at. Mississippi, New Orleans, is keeping the history alive. For how much tragedy has gone through those places with the hurricanes, always rebuilding.
Yep.
And it's unbelievable of the community down there. Then you add some paranormal in there, you never know where it's going to grow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, again, I appreciate you guys coming on. We're an hour, 20 minutes into this. I'm going to have to get down there sooner or later.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I know I try to get down to Brushy Mountain next year. Hopefully I can get down there, and maybe I'll just jump on over to Mississippi too. You never know.
Absolutely. For sure. Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Everybody out there, their website is it darkwaterstours.com?
Yeah,
I was on it today.
Tours.com.
Tours.com. So if you have anybody, if you're going down to Mississippi, look them up. If you know anybody that's down there in Biloxi, tell them to look them up. Do a ghost tour. I don't know the prices. I looked at them. Not expensive. Do a tour. Learn some history, and have a good time. So that's what it's all about. And go land on the beach, playing some casinos. Who cares? Don't eat at a Waffle House. Though.
Yeah, go to Waffle House.
No, don't go to Waffle House. They have shrimp tacos down there everywhere. They're unbelievable. Trust me. But again, I appreciate it. Keep in touch, and I'm sure hopefully we'll see you guys soon. You got any big news coming up in next year or whatever, drop me a line, jump on the show again.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We sure will. Thank you again, Ryan.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, and have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.